Hey, in this video I'm going to show you how to play some modern worship guitar chord voicings that will make your playing sound a lot more interesting and melodic. Hey there, my name is Triad, and in this video I'm going to show you how to play any modern worship song in any key, anywhere on the neck, using nothing but 3 simple 2-note chord voicings. Now if you're like me, then you probably want to find ways to simplify your chord voicings while at the same time make them sound a lot more interesting. Now the chord voicing that I'm about to show you are designed specifically for playing modern worship music on the electric guitar, but the good news is they can be used in any style of music that you want. So whether you're a beginner or an experienced player, I think you'll find these voicings super helpful. So grab your guitar and let's dive right in. The 3 shapes, it's simply this. So on its own, it doesn't sound like much, but look what happens when I move them around to the right frets. So if I've got an A over here, I can play my first shape right there. The second shape, if I move that up 4 frets, I get A major. And if I take my third shape up 7 frets, I still get A. So these 3 shapes move to the right places will give me 3 variations of A. All of that was simply those 3 shapes I've just shown you. Now you can flip them around a little bit and also get A minor in 3 different shapes. So the first A will stay the same with this shape. Then I'm going to take my second shape now and move it up 4 frets, actually 3 frets, for A minor, and then I'm going to take my first shape and move it up 7 frets for A minor. So as you can see, so all you've heard now was simply just these 3 shapes played in specific places on the neck that then gives me 3 ways to play A major, and also 3 variations for A minor. So that means with just those 3 shapes, you can play a major chord in 3 different positions on the guitar neck, and you can play a minor chord in 3 different positions on the guitar neck. Very importantly is to understand 2 things. That these are only 2-note chord voicings, which means a typical major or minor chord, we call those triads, they typically have 3 notes. So that means in each one of these shapes, one of those 3 notes are going to be missing. So if you look at a major triad, it's 1, 3, 5. All of those 3 notes make up the major chord. So for our first shape where we are 2 frets apart, this particular shape does not have the third of the chord. So this is technically an A5, which can be played over both A major or A minor. Our second shape, if I play it in the major over here, it does not have the 5th. And then our third shape, it does not have the root note. So if you want to look at where the 3 A's are, you've got A over there, A over there, and A over there. Shape 1, shape 2, and shape 3. Just pay attention to where those root notes are, then you can play those 3 shapes over any major chord. And then for the minor chords, we're going to use the same shape, because this is an A5, which means we can play that over either A major or A minor. Then our second shape is being played over here with the root note there. So this one does not have the 5th. And then our third variation, which is the second shape over there, does not have the root note. But still my A notes stay the same. Major, minor. So So hopefully that kind of gets you excited, because you know that most worship songs are going to be using either major chords or minor chords, whether it's a 1-6-4-5, a 4-1-5-6, whatever the case may be. You now have 3 different places to play a major or a minor chord. Let me play you an example of 3 different songs making use of these particular triads, and then let's see if you recognize these songs. Let's check it out. All right, so that's the melody line from Our God by Chris Tomlin. And the chords are C sharp minor, A, E, and B. And then again, C sharp minor, A over there, E, and then B. But you don't have to play those low notes, because in the band situation, the bass player and the keyboard player will be taking care of those notes. So as you can see, for the minor chord, C sharp, I used the second shape. For the A chord, I used the third shape. For the E chord, I used the third shape. And for the B chord, I used the first shape. And the cool thing about these is you don't necessarily have to use hybrid picking like I've just done. You can also strum it like this. Again, it was just using those 3 shapes that I've shown you in the beginning of this video. Let's check out another song and see if you recognize this one. All right, so that's Hallelujah by Jesus Culture. Now you might notice that instead of playing on strings 2 and 4, this time I played on strings 1 and 3. Now the good news is that those exact same shapes translate to the first and third string in exactly the same way that they translated to the second and fourth string. So our first chord was a B flat, then we had an F, then we had a C, and then a D minor. I can play the same thing there. B flat, F, C, D minor. Exactly the same thing over here. How cool is that? That exact same shape translates to string 1 and 3 in the same way that you can play it on strings 2 and 4. Again, just those 3 simple shapes. You can play any major and minor chords across the neck. We've looked at the second and fourth strings as well as the first and third strings. Let's check out one more song where you can use these shapes as well. All right, so those were the chords for Waymaker, which is 4-1-5-6 in the key of E. So of course we had A major, we had E, we had B, and C sharp minor. Nothing but those 3 simple shapes that I've shown you right here in the beginning of this video. So hopefully by now you can see how powerful these 3 shapes are. There's a myriad of ways in which you can play them. You can strum them. you're going to strum them, make sure that your string muting is on point. You can use hybrid picking with them. Or you can even pick both notes with your plectrum. And you can even mix and match them together. So you can go. As you can see, they work beautifully up and down the guitar neck because you can play the same chord in 3 different places. Remember, we can do A. Those are 4 different places with 3 different shapes. And I can also do the minors. So if I had A minor, also 4 different places, but only using those 3 shapes. So hopefully that's inspired you to see what's possible by keeping things simple. Like I promised you in the beginning of this video, 3 simple shapes, but it has a lot of depth and dimension to it, because even as I was playing, say the Waymaker or any of the songs, you can already hear a lot of the melodic content of those songs. And depending on where on the neck you're going to play them, it's going to give you a whole range of different options. So we'll put all of the shapes on the screen for you if you want to take a screenshot and check out what those shapes look like. And then you just got to go and learn the shapes on the guitar. And then a little bit of a tip for you can be is choose where you're going to start playing it. So for example, if you're going to play A, E, B, C sharp minor, maybe you want to start here, A, E, B, C sharp minor. Or maybe you want to start with this A, E, B, C sharp minor. Because you can play the same progression in different parts of the guitar neck. Just very important for you to learn these shapes. Make sure that your string muting is dialed in, and then pay attention to where the root notes are so that you can move these shapes up and down the neck. And a little bit of a tip that we'll get into another video is you can also use these shapes to play lead guitar and do some cool melodies and solos, hooks and fills without actually using scales, but still just using these 3 simple shapes. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you get a lot out of these shapes, and go ahead and have some fun with them in your playing and just see how they can really open up the guitar neck for you, allowing you to freely play across the whole neck in any key and any progression, because you've got these major and minor chord shapes, which for the most part is what you'll be using in a modern worship setting. All right, guys, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. You'll get notifications whenever we release new tutorials like this. And if you enjoyed this video, we'd ask you to do us a favor, leave us a comment and share this video with someone else that you think might find value in this, to learn how to use these 3 simple shapes to freely play across the whole neck. That'll really help us out a lot if you can help us spread the word. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.